Hello, my name is Amritpreet Singh and I am from DAM 3B. My registration number is 14DAM19F1008. Today we'll be talking about force, mass and acceleration, practical 2. First of all, we would like to understand the objectives. Number 1. Understanding the basic of force, mass and acceleration according to Newton's second law. Second is to know and use the equipment that will be used in the experiment, and then analyzing the result for the measurement, and also lastly to verify the Newton's second law. In this experiment, Newton's second law of motion pertains to the behavior of objects for which all existing forces are not balanced. The second law states that the acceleration of an object is dependent upon two variables: the net force acting upon the object and the mass of the object. So this is the load or the object, the mass of the load of the object and the force acting upon it. The acceleration is then calculated from the force and the mass of the object, where the formula states that F equals ma. F equals to force, m equals to mass, and a is the acceleration. Acceleration is produced when mass is acted upon by a force. The speed in the rate of change in distance is called the velocity. Velocity in the rate of change in displacement is called acceleration. Its unit is actually meter per second, and velocity is meter per second. Velocity acceleration is meter per second, and velocity is meter per second per over time. So the apparatus and materials used is actually scales, set of weight balance, stopwatch, meter ruler, flat runway and wooden blocks. As the safety precaution, the lecturer advised not to do the experiment without the lecturer's supervision, and arrange the equipment after using the equipment after the experiment is to be arranged again. Well, for the procedures, it's actually a flat runway which will be placed on a wooden block or some other blocks which would be stacked to a height, and the flat runway was made into an inclined plane. Mass 1 was then weighted and the value was recorded and was put on the top of the inclined plane. Mass 1 was then released from the top to the bottom of the inclined plane, and the time was recorded using the stopwatch while mass 1 was going down the inclined plane. The height was the inclined plane was then lowered to another height, and mass A was again recorded going down, and its time was also recorded. Mass 1 was changed again and again using from 5 grams, 50 grams, 100 grams and 5 grams, as height was 20 or 30 centimeters. So in this experiment, the results will be then shown by Irfan.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Mama Irfan bin Shahrul Nizam. My number matric is 14 DEM 19 F1010. And now I will present about my part, which is result and calculation for lab work 2. For the result, we need to calculate the information given to get the value of the time average, mass in kilogram, velocity and acceleration. We use the specific formula to get the value. Then we will get all the value that we need to get and put on the table. The information only give for mass in gram. The information only give for mass in gram, time 1, time 2 and time 3. So we need to calculate that value to get the result. For, for calculation, first we need to get the value of the time average. The formula for time average is time 1 plus time 2 plus time 3 over 3. Calculate, use this formula and it will get the value. And as we can see on this table, we get the time average for 100 gram, 50 gram, 20 gram, 10 gram, and 5 gram. Next, for velocity. The formula for velocity is we use height over total time. The height for test 1 given is 20 cm. Then, but we need to convert into meter. For test 2, the height given is 30 cm. Then calculate, use the formula and we get the value. And the value for velocity for test 1 we get 0.177, for 15 gram 0.168, for 20 gram 0.155, 10 gram 0.167, and 5 gram 0.136. And lastly, for acceleration, the formula for acceleration is velocity over the time average. Same goes to test 2. We use same formula for acceleration, and after calculate, we will get all value for the information we need. This is for calculation for test 2, and this and it became with the value after we calculate. The time average, velocity and acceleration, we use that formula to get the value. After we calculate this data, we need to insert the value into the table given, like this. Okay, that's all for my part. Thank you.
We got the result as we expect. The acceleration as we change the level of powers, and we could see the result from the data as well. On the graph, we see as the value of the power decrease, the acceleration also decrease. The resulting straight line fit on the graph should be scrutinized for source of error. The quality of the fit is reduced. If the suggest procedure for maintaining the total inconstant is ignored, the most likely cause of thing is neglect of the effect of friction on the motion of the weight. Conclusion. In conclusion, we conclude the force is indeed a function of mass and acceleration, since two scenarios both support the Newton's second law of motion is true from the result of the experiment. True investigation may take more than one lesson. You could save time by arranging for one person investigate the effect of force F and the other one to investigate the effect of mass m. Then combine the result to arrive at A equal F per m.